Welcome. The hype around artificial intelligence AI is spinning the demise of roles, the replacement of staff, and in time frames that are unlikely to occur. The human factor is the unknown and often impacts in unexpected ways. It is this human factor which is considered further here with an example of a given skill and experience, that of ethics. We are faced with difficult decisions and situations in business which requires human intervention and response. Even with AI and automation of operations, the human factor remains with the legacy in managing the response, in remediation and related activities. It will be some time before ethics are embedded directly within the artificial intelligence, AI, and the algorithms and LLMs applied, and with the required understanding of the decisions made based on ethics. Ethics is an example of the human factor impacting the application and use of AI. Ethics is one of several skills within many roles which will require the human factor and cuts across the hype around AI and role changes. Come and discover more. Protecting you and your business. Applying the proven, pragmatic, practical to business outcomes with artificial intelligence AI as part of the process is outlined to help with the management of ethics. Any AI ethics and frameworks is mainly about the people who research, design, develop, test, manage and operate, consume, and assure the use of AI. Eventually, the ethics may be included in the AI, but the human factor is still required. With people being at the heart of ethics for AI, the emotional factor is important. While frameworks and controls can help with the emotional within ethics, the emotional remains to be managed by AI and the respective responses and outcomes. While we are seeing emerging needs and legislation around AI for the management of ethical issues, there is much around ethics that is already in existence to protect a business, for assuring customers and helping us keep our jobs. It is often a decision to apply and respond where the gap occurs. The proven, pragmatic, practical application of ethics with AI is discussed further. About ethics. Before getting into AI and ethics, we pause to look at ethics in general. It is difficult to legislate ethics, as ways around will be found. The focus is on the environment, the behaviors and the regime of a business to support ethics. Any AI ethics regime is only as good as the implementation and ongoing management. An ethical regime which can apply to AI comes from changing the environment, instilling the behaviors and enabling the outcomes. This is about how to bring change as applied to AI. To have an ethical regime of which AI is part requires ongoing assurance, awareness, and providing the required support. The leadership is required with decision making and response to decisions, but the leadership is the change they wish to see and treat others as they would be treated. If an ethics regime exists in business, then it carries across to AI. The existing regimes can be applied on a risk-based approach to realize value to business. AI and the role of ethics. To provide context around ethics in AI. For ethics to work, there needs to be a trust, whether it is in people, processes, confidentiality, behaviors, stakeholders, and across the many other areas. Having assurance is part of the trust. The trust extends the use and application of AI and the related business outcomes. Trust takes time to develop and is easily lost and is integral to many areas of operations, services, and within ethics. While ethics is often a personal issue, the existence of ethics is about protecting a business, ensuring jobs, and giving customers confidence. If we apply our proven regimes of ethics to business-based AI outcomes, then we are meeting these needs. While additional aspects may be required for AI, a lot of the ethics can be achieved now using proven pragmatic practices which protect a business, help us keep our jobs, and service customers. Ethics in AI is more than legislation and frameworks. Where a business operates in an environment of ethics, then ethics for AI is part of the regime and the outcomes. Ethics in AI is not some complicated solution that is still to develop or requiring specialists to apply it or is the remit of others. Ethics in general and with AI is about proven, pragmatic, practical regimes which we manage as part of business. In essence, AI needs to be held to existing liabilities, accountabilities, and responsibilities through the management of business outcomes. While there are specific aspects of ethics for AI and the development of respective frameworks and guidelines is required, it is the application of current regimes which is the basis of ethics in AI. Impacting a response. Ethics is often a personal decision and response. While there are outcomes across teams, businesses, and emergent behaviors also to be considered, the bringing of clarity is impacted by responsibilities. The responsibilities we have across business, personal, and community. This includes our responsibilities to others, responsibilities to ourselves, and our responsibilities around the outcomes. Role. The role we are in and the level of that role. The higher the role with greater ethical impacts, the more difficult the management of ethics may become. Severity. The severity of the ethical decision and relating impacts and remediations. Again, the more important the decisions, the greater the impact, and the severity, often the more difficult the ethics. Collectively, the ethics and the decisions around ethics are impacted by the severity, the role, the responsibility. This applies to teams and groups as well as individuals. It is the regime for managing and working with which is often a challenge. The ethics frameworks and controls around AI are similarly impacted. As AI ethics becomes embedded in the algorithms and LLMs in real-time decision-making, these impacting factors become part of the solution. Decision to act or delay or inaction. A decision around ethics is either to act, take no action, inaction, or delay, wait, which can be active or passive. All of these are a decision having impacts and consequences. While mainly a personal choice, there is also the team and business impacts. A decision is based on need, having the need to act. This relates to motivations and other emotional factors. Opportunity, having a situation to act. Recognition and circumstance vary with the ethics, the issue, and the circumstance. Ability to rationalize. Being able to rationalize. It is the rationalization which is often the main determinant. Decisions are often made based on emotions, with partial details, but it is the rationalization which makes the justification. Skilling and training with ethics, the frameworks and controls for ethics and the governance of ethics needs to address the need, the opportunity, and rationalization. Any changes in decisions are similarly influenced. Environment and behaviors. The basics of business transformation recognizes the need to change the environment, instill the behaviors, and realize the outcomes. Instilling an ethics regime is mainly a transformation management activity which requires changing the environment, the development of the respective behaviors. For a decision and an action on ethics, whether individual, group, or business, the environment and changes within the environment impact decisions and changes in decisions. The behaviors seen around or installed impact accordingly. The environment and behaviors are influenced by having the resources, people, funding, infrastructure to implement and sustain a decision. A key part of ethics is the motivation, the worth, and the expectation which we see in ourselves. Ethics requires time, from time to decide, for time to implement, and managing the outcomes over time. The role of peers, having support and with trust in the process, the stakeholders, and the outcome, absence of retribution, are required. The environment and behaviors applies in implementing an ethics regime, the management of the regime, and the assurance of a regime. Similarly, for the individual team or business. Managing the unknown. Working with ethics is about managing the unknown. By working to gain clarification and understanding, decisions and activities evolve and change. Both at the individual level or the team or business level, a process is seen. Awareness, situation becoming known and understood. Response, deciding actions and follow through. Support, the trust and support required before, during, and after impacts the decisions and actions. Engagement, the engagement within and across the process, both supportive and abusive, as well as the lack of engagement. The approach of using risk is often a way to engage and assist with understanding. Even in environments where ethics are not championed, managing the unknown and the unexpected is required. Engagement using risk. The use of risk is inherent to ethics. From the risk of doing nothing, the risk occurred by being ethical, to using risk in communication management and expectation management. Risk management is also an important tool in managing the hype in AI, especially generative AI, spinning the demise of roles, the replacement of staff, and in timeframes that are unlikely to occur, is subject to and impacted by the human factor. It is the unknown and the unexpected which often impacts and in unpredictable ways. Ethics is just one example of the human factor within business and the impacts on AI. Thank you for your time. May this post be of value to you and those you help. Please feel free to like, share, and comment.